When Tory Clark, the former press secretary to John McCain, wrote a book about her life in politics, she borrowed an old barnyard expression and called it lipstick on a pig. A whole lot of us have used the expression, from Dick Cheney to John McCain, who used it to describe the Clintons' health care policy, to Barack Obama, who used it the other day to question John McCain's ability to change policies. When he did that, the McCain campaign attacked Obama because Sarah Palin had just used the word lipstick in her convention speech last week. One conservative commentator today called this whole fracas, quote, beyond stupid, which many say nicely describes the state of the debate right now in this campaign, with 55 days to go until we pick our next president. Today, all of this threatened to push the real discussion of the real issues off to another day. Our coverage of this day and this campaign begins with NBC's Andrea Mitchell.
Barack Obama today tried to reclaim the right to his own words after being slammed by the McCain campaign for using a commonplace expression.
Enough. I don't care what they say about me, but I love this country too much to let them take over another election with lies and phony outrage and swift vote politics. Enough is enough.
What sidetracked Obama from a planned speech on education? Republican accusations of sexism for saying this last night about the idea that John McCain represents change.
That's just calling the same thing something different. But you can't, you can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig.
Obama was talking about McCain and the Republican change argument, but it took less than an hour for a McCain surrogate to accuse him of a slur against Sarah Palin.
Disgraceful comments comparing our vice presidential nominee, Governor Palin, to a pig.
By this morning, they had produced a web ad to drive the connection home.
You know, they say the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull? Lipstick.
Their claim, Obama must have been talking about Palin because she joked about lipstick in her convention speech. It's a common phrase. Last year, John McCain used it to describe Hillary Clinton's health care plan.
I think they put some lipstick on the pig, but it's still a pig.
Dick Cheney used it 4 years ago against John Kerry.
You can put all the lipstick you want on a pig, but at the end of the day, it's still a pig.
From talk radio to conference calls, McCain's supporters and surrogates hammered Obama for alleged sexism. Some say to create sympathy for Palin and appeal to undecided women voters.
What the Republicans have proven themselves very adept at is creating campaign stories that have very little to do with the issues.
It even came up when Obama taped David Letterman's show today to air tonight.
This is sort of silly season in politics. Not that there's a non-silly season involved, right. But it gets sillier. Yeah. And, it's a common expression in at least Illinois. I don't know about New York City.
Still, when McCain was asked today by Telemundo what he hates most about campaigning,
probably the negativism, all these negative ads and personal attacks, Senator Obama's recent comments about lipstick on a pig.
So despite Obama's denials and McCain's own history of using that phrase, tonight Republicans are refusing to back off. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, Washington.
And with us from Washington tonight, our NBC News political director, Chuck Todd. So, Chuck, taking off right where Senator McCain left off in the interview with Telemundo, if so many of us know it's happening and the machinery behind it, how do things like this still happen?
Well, first of all, Brian, it's amazing. Just last night we were talking about how the voters in our survey thought they were really happy with the candidates. They were really happy with both parties. There was actually an optimism about this campaign. Probably that optimism has gone away. But look, we've gotten here because you have the McCain campaign doesn't want to, they can't afford to have too many campaign days that are about President Bush, that are about the economy. The fundamentals of this campaign, as far as the issues are concerned, are going against the Republicans. So they need to create these distractions and take days off the campaign trail that they're not debating Bush or they're not debating the economy, because it isn't a strength for the McCain campaign right now, Brian.
And Chuck, as you know, starting tomorrow, Governor Palin becomes more real to people. She's been arguably the most cloistered VP member of a ticket in recent times. The plane she travels on considered off the record record, no interviews until the next several days. The ticket splits now. McCain goes off on his own. Palin goes off on her own. What to look for?
Well, I tell you, this is a nervous moment for the McCain campaign because they are worried what is a McCain rally going to look like without Governor Palin there. She's provided a tremendous amount of enthusiasm. They got 23,000 people to show up to an event today in Northern Virginia, right in our backyard. So they're nervous about it. She obviously goes off on her own in this interview. They've split off. Half of the senior staff is with Governor Palin, getting her prepared for this interview. But as it turns out, it looks like the sooner they can get these two back together, Brian, the better. The campaign has now said they may have the two of them campaign together more often than they're apart until Election Day.
Chuck Todd, thanks. Chuck Todd from our D.C. Bureau tonight. And we turn